Um, the numbers are still at 3, so I'll see in another 3 months. So after that, I saw him in another 3 months, and then he said, now your numbers have gone up. So then he says that, okay, you need to do a biopsy. So, the thing is that I was kind of nervous, and, I just, didn't want to do it at that time. So I said, you know what, maybe it's just a fluke. So, let's just take another test and see what happens the next time.
Why were you hesitant to do the biopsy?
I don't know. Nervous, I've never done a biopsy before, and
Doesn't sound like anything pleasant for a man to do.
No, but at some point in your life, everyone, may have to face a biopsy, but it's nothing bad, it's all good, it's. The doctor's trying to help you to, stay healthy.
Now, can you explain to the listeners out there, especially for the men, what a biopsy entails?
Okay, well, what a biopsy entails is basically they go in through your butt, and they put a scope in it, and also they take tissue samples from the prostate, or what have you. Or also they would scrape the colon for polyps.
At the same time.
At the same time.
It's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
Correct.
Is it painful, or is it just obtrusive?
Maybe a little obtrusive, but the thing is that too, they numb you.
Oh.
So therefore, you ought to feel it.
Yeah, I want to be knocked out when they do
Well, you're not totally knocked out now.
Yeah.
It just feels more like pressure. Well,
Exactly.
I just really, really appreciate you taking the time to come in here and, tell your personal story, because this is a serious thing. We put a post on Facebook, and we already got an uncomfortable comment back. And it's like, it's going to be uncomfortable, but this is something that we need to do for our own health.
Yep.
So you just don't even understand how many lives you're impacting right now to, just to encourage people to get checked out. So just with one sentence, what would you say before our listeners, before we go to break, to encourage them to get checked out? So, listeners, I do want to give you the number. Our number here is 857-366-5444. Mr. Wayne Wilson will stay right with us, but he is going to give an outgoing piece of feedback to all of our listeners.
Take time for your health. See your doctor.
That's words of wisdom. We'll be right back. This is the Minority Men Show.
Burning cage. Who that there? You ain't gotta ask no longer, right? You ain't gotta ask no longer, right? You ain't gotta ask no longer. Who that there? Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. They say, who that there? Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. It's me. Jean jacket with the chop sleeves, showing off our young homies. No, I ain't doing him. No. Doing means. Grew up on that type of rap that really make you spit it. So if you see him kill it, you ain't gotta ask who did it. Girls say they totally love the way that I'm singing. I say, baby, that's the hook.
Take the verses that I'm bringing like.
About 1 year ago, I was all on my own. We was trying to get on, so I put the pen to my dome. Wrote the realest ish my life, then I put it all in a poem. Critics said that I was crazy. Now everybody right now it's home. They saying, who that there? Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. They saying, who that there? Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. It's me. Never talking about on Molly or a rap to get a hottie on my body like a Gotti on tour. Another telly, but I wrote this in the lobby. People ask me who I am, I just get a ears and copy like take that ish in, cause baby I'm back. Ain't gone nowhere, yeah that's fact. You can tell by the way that I rap. Came up in this off a long guy, ain't nobody like it. Thought of what I thought, and ain't know I'm on right it. Get up in the booth and now it's time that I recite it. It'll go in the blow, you know I take that wicked lighter like dollar up in my pocket. Trying to make this my own. Critics call my side crazy, now they writing it. Hey, so they say that there, hey, everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, they say that there, hey, everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go. Cocaine, ay. Tell me what you see. Cause if I see it, I'ma be that too, ay. Go ahead and follow me, that new kid, ay. It's all about he really be. Mama told me way back, I'm a star now. I'm walking down the street, everybody that's easy. That there, hey, everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, they say, who that there, hey, everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go. You ain't gotta ask no longer, right? You ain't gotta ask no longer, right? No longer, right? No longer, right?
I haven't met Son Real, but I hear he's in the bus over there, and I definitely want to meet him. That's definitely one of the things on my list, for sure.
Hey, listeners, this is your girl Bree. I'm here back with the Minority Men panel. I have Anthony Cook, Blue, Public, and our special guest, Mr. Wayne Wilson. Before in our last segment, we were talking about his intimate story about his experience with the big C, prostate cancer. And so we just, again, really, really appreciate you delving into this topic. He left with some insightful words saying that it's very, very important for everyone to get checked out. So, please continue, Mr. Wilson. Mm-hmm.
And before we continue, Mr. Wilson, I have a quick question for you. Now, the reason that they had you repeatedly checking your PSA levels, was it because of family history?
Yes, it was family history, yes.
Oh, wow.
What does PSA stand for?
Prostate specific antigen.
Oh, okay.
And that's conducted by a urologist?
That's conducted by, actually, your regular physician can do it as well.
Okay.
But it's just when the numbers start going up, then you need to see a urologist.
Okay.
Which, he has, that's a specialty.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
So I definitely have a whole slew of questions. I guess I'll just throw them all out there and you could pick one. My question is, you said you weren't anxious when they first started to test your PSA levels, but after they repeatedly tested you, I know you said you have a family, a wife and children. At what point did you inform them? At what point did you start to get anxious about it in the process? And also I want to know, why, if they felt like your levels were at a 3 and it sparked some concern, why couldn't they act then and do some preventative treatment at that point? And what also, was there any pain? What advice can you give to, men to look out for, or even their partners to look out for warning signs or, yeah?
Well, actually, when it comes to PSA, I don't even quite understand it all that much myself, because the numbers varies, and so you can have a man 70 with 4 whatever, or 5, and he might be considered okay. So I don't quite understand it all, but mine was 3. And my doctor knew that it runs in the family because an uncle of mine had prostate cancer and a cousin of mine also had prostate cancer. So that's why when the numbers went to 3, she decided that maybe at this point I need to have a follow-up with a urologist, and so that's what I did. But at this point right now, it wasn't until another 3 months that actually we did another test, and then that's when the numbers actually shot up to even 5 point something.
Wow.
And then my doctor come back to me and say, I told you, the first time, it hasn't changed. My opinion about you having a biopsy has not changed. So you need to have a biopsy done. So at that point, I said, you know what, I'll have it done. And that's when I had the biopsy done, which is now I was 52 when my doctor suggested I see the urologist. Now I'm 53 when the numbers started to go up. Then I had the test done, and this is the biopsy, which was in February of this year. I'm still 53, so that.
How long did it take you to get the results back from the biopsy?
1 week.
1 week?
1 week, yes. Yeah.
Now, can you run through that for us real quick? Now, did they call you and tell you, or did they call you and tell you to come into the office?
Actually, my doctor, my urologist, he called me and he said, Wayne, I have bad news for you. We tested the sample of your prostate, and it's cancerous.
Wow.
So he said, you need to come into the office and see me in the next week. So,
were you driving when that happened?
You know what? Yes, I was driving.
I don't know how. I don't know.
I was driving.
Yeah, I don't know how I would be able to take news like that driving.
Yeah, he actually called me on my cell phone.
Yeah. What did you? What was running through your mind?
Well, wow, it's like, what do you say? The thing
is
that
what it is, right?
Yeah, you just have to, okay, well, let's, see what he says when, we sit down and talk. So when I went to the appointment and we sat down and talked, he said, well, look, here's what it is. You have prostate cancer, but, thing is that we found it in the early stage. So that, thanks to the PSA level check.
Yeah.
So he says that, there are different things you can do, but I recommend, you could go holistic medicine, but I recommend surgery. Because he says that surgery will, when you take the prostate out, it gives you a 90% chance, that it'll never come back, and you can move on with your life and have a great life.
So they take the whole prostate out, the whole thing?
Yes, the whole thing. There's no such thing as taking half of it or a piece of it.
For real? They take the whole thing
It's
out?
all or nothing. All or nothing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now, is your prostate attached to a particular part of your body? I mean, just give the audience
anatomy,
the
anatomy, basically.
The anatomy. Okay, so with that being said, once you did the operation, what was your recovery time?
My recovery time was about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks after the surgery.
So it should be nothing that individuals who are possibly going through it or who have gone through it and worrying about the surgery. There should be nothing they should be worrying about because it's not an extreme surgery that's going to take you 6-7 months to recover.
Well, still the thing is that